I think that the Open Science Fair is a great idea. Science is the best thing that can happen to humans, and to make it usable and widely read and disseminated, you need to have open science. So there's many challenges on how to achieve that. It's not an easy solution to make all of our science open, and how to do it, who is going to do it, what are the obstacles and what are the solutions is something that is a very fertile ground for debate and for interesting contribution. So I'm really glad that the Open Science Fair is trying to tackle these issues. Reproducibility is very difficult to even probe unless there's openness. If there's no access to data sets, to protocols, to software, script, code for research that has been done, it's practically impossible to try to repeat whatever has been achieved and see whether the same results can be obtained. It's also very difficult for someone to design independent future studies unless there's very clear understanding about what has happened in previous work. So openness is kind of a prerequisite to reproducibility. It doesn't mean that open research will be reproducible, but unless we have open research, I think our chances of even probing whether it is reproducible are pretty slim. The researchers are human beings, and human beings, we do what we are rewarded to do, and we like to spend more effort on things that we will get high marks or a better grade or a higher salary or more ethical rewards for what we have achieved. So it's important, if we want to get better results and more credible results in scientific investigation, that we reward practices that lead to such more credible results. And conversely, we don't give credit to shortcuts or questionable research practices that may lead in the opposite direction of more irreproducibility and more erroneous conclusions. I think that both open science and reproducibility depend on a grassroots movement with kind of a bottom-up approach. It needs to be the young researchers, the new researchers, the wider scientific community that endorse such practices. Otherwise, it's not easy just to convince people that this is something that they need to do unless they really don't see the merit of it. It's not a bureaucratic requirement. It's something that will lead to better science, and better science leads to better outcomes, to better deliverables and better quality of life, and in medicine also duration of life for people, for the community. So I think that there's a lot of excitement. I think that someone who goes into science, typically science tends to attract the brightest minds and people who don't spare time and effort in what they do. And finding the best ways to do the best work is something that is very close to their heart. Medicine clearly needs openness because many important decisions depend on medical research. It's not just curiosity. It's also about treating, managing people, trying to prevent disease, trying to diagnose disease, trying to treat medical conditions. So if our decisions are wrong, and they may be wrong if they're based on wrong evidence, that's pretty serious. So the way to find out what is correct and what is wrong goes through openness and reproducibility, and therefore we need to maximize that within medical sciences at large.